Let's start this with a prayer. Dear Father, I thank you for this day and this opportunity to be used as a vessel to let your people know that you are available, able, and ready in the name of Yeshua from Nazareth. Let's cut this bread. Psalms 119:25 through 28, and this comes from the Contemporary English Version for all you thumpers. I am at the point of death. Let your teachings breathe new life into me. When I told you my troubles, you answered my prayers. Now teach me your laws. Help me to understand your teachings, and I will think about your marvelous deeds. I am overcome with sorrow. Encourage me as you have promised to do so. So I don't know if anybody knows, but I was trying to be a deadbeat mom this summer, right? Now, I've been a mom since I was 15 years old. I never quit on my kids, never gave up on them. I didn't do everything correctly, but I was there. And I felt like I needed to have some time to, find myself, not knowing that I wasn't lost. I was just confused about what it really was. So my babies are staying at their dad's house, and it had been 2 weeks since I had seen them, and that's probably like the longest period of time that I've ever went without seeing my daughters. And I came home last night from work, and my house felt empty, and I felt really weird, like, man, I miss my babies. And then all of a sudden my baby calls me, crying profusely. I don't know why. I just got this headache, but I miss you so much. It was real. It's my baby. What can I say? She loves me. I love her. And even though me and their dad don't get along like that, because, some niggas want to be rappers. Cool. Not me. Not my thing, but whatever. It's like, man, let's just work this out so, I can just go to work a couple of days. My babies can come home and it'll be no problem. Cool, whatever. But then when I woke up this morning, like I had this heaviness on me. And I felt like I was lost. So I went and did an Uber run. And the Uber lady ended up praying for me. And when I got home, like even on the way home, I hate crying. I just had like this influx of emotions, and I literally just got on my face and I'm like, God, what am I doing? Am I doing what you want me to do, or am I doing what I want to do? And obviously I've been doing what I want to do and not what God has want me to do. And this is where it's 25. I'm at a point of death. Let your teachings breathe new life into me. So I'm on the floor crying, and my gun is in the my bag. So as I'm crying, because the enemy never stops, he's like, man, you should just take that gun out and blast yourself. I take the gun out, I empty out the clip. Well, not empty it out, but I like let it out. That's the dumbest thing in the world. I ain't no quitter. But just, like depression will try to keep coming back, and I've dealt with depression for the greater part of 30 years, no meds, no psychiatrist, me and God working through my issues, and it's hard. And it's hard when you do it sober. Because listen, I don't know if you know, but I used to love smoking weed. Loved it, right? Felt like it was calming for me. Listen, I told myself whatever lie I wanted to tell myself, right? But I ain't been smoking no weed. And I don't think I want to go back because I don't want a crutch. Because I'm laying there crying, devil trying to play on, my little weakness moment. I get done crying, and God is like, get to work. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's this. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be a mother. Skip a dude, because even that situation happened. Let me tell you, frauds is out here. And they acting like, they love God. It's this, it's that. Skip that, right? And here goes 26. When I told you my troubles, you answered my prayers. Now teach me your laws. First law is love God with your heart, mind, and soul. And at some point, I put myself above that. I put my kids above loving him. I even put some dude above loving God. Like, I know these are things that people don't want to talk about because you think you're supposed to be perfect, but ain't no way. But I'm gonna expose all my flaws because this is what it is. And him being like, okay, go do that podcast and explain just explain what happened. So it was a quick little 10-minute podcast, but I did it. Felt better because this is what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a situation where if you're going through something, you call out to him, you cry out to him, you come to him, you seek shelter and refuge in him, not in anything else. And I did it for so long with so many things, and it's not conducive to my well-being, my spiritual well-being. 27, help me to understand your teachings, and I will think about your marvelous deeds. Well, after I did my podcast, sitting and reflecting about what he's taught me, to be like, look, you know, I done told you not to mess with certain type of people. You mess with certain type of people, this is what happens. Now you're feeling some type of way about that. I done told you that your responsibility as a woman and a mother is to your children, regardless as to whatever else is going on, because I blessed you with these kids. And lastly, but most importantly, your responsibility is to me, to seek me in your time of trouble, when you're going through stuff, when you're perplexed about what it is, come holler at me. I can't tell you how freeing it is to really lay it down before, like, God, like, I messed up again. It's, I hate crying. It's humbling, super humbling to be in this position that I'm in, because listen, I don't have to fake for anybody, nor do I have to answer to any man on the face of this earth about anything but him. And knowing that I was created for such a time as this, I wouldn't know that if he didn't help me to understand his laws and what my position and my place is in his kingdom. I'm a killer. That doubt come, I'm a killer. I'm not going to let it take me out. You know, the struggle come, I'm not going to let it kill me. I'm going to pick it up, throw it on my back, and let it make me tougher with him. You know, because it's hard when you're a mother and you got to do everything on your own. It's hard when you're a single parent in general and you got to do it on your own, and your kids are in the mix, and their emotions are people that, you know, don't know anything, and they count on us. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know, but I got to count on God. And let me tell you, living in Milwaukee, being a teen mom, being a high school dropout, having 7 kids, kind of a success story. My kids didn't go down the same road that I went down. My kids graduated from high school. My kids went on to do better things with their life. You know, and they had the support that they needed. They had the guidance that they needed. They had the love, everything that I didn't have. And for God to take a nobody like me and turn me into a somebody that could, you know, produce fruit. And my offspring is a beautiful thing. And when I struggle, it's like 1 or 2 people that I can call, and I'm grateful for them 1 or 2 people that give me foresight and insight. You know, where it's stay focused on what you need to be doing. This is where my heart is at. It's in exposing most things that people won't even acknowledge. I ain't afraid. I mean, I don't care if the 10 people following me or watching me don't like me no more. Listen, I'm real. I don't know how to be anything other than this. But I mess up. I get myself in situations. Sometimes I've ended up in a pit. But it's God always bringing me back. So in 27, when Psalms 27, when it's like, help me to understand your teachings and I will think about the marvelous deeds. Look, I can't even tell you how many times God then got me out of situations I knowingly put myself in and knowingly heard him say, stay away from that. Oh no, God, it's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay. Look, when he's talking to you, you got this relationship with him, listen to him. Listen to him. It's going to save you a lot of heartache, stress, trouble, all of that down the road because you don't need it. 28, I am overcome with sorrow. Encourage me as you have promised to do. And it was so crazy because while I'm on the floor crying, and I'm telling you, I'm crying like disappointed cry, a, 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 a perplexed cry, a confused cry, I need direction type cry. You know, and then seeing how quick the devil come, like, oh, just shoot yourself. Niggas, you tripping? Ain't nobody shooting nothing. Shooting you. God's first words were, get to work. Get to work. Do what you're supposed to be doing. I love this. I love being like, man, he understands me and he meets me where I am. This relationship with Yeshua has done so much for my life because I know what it's like to be loved properly. And I know what it's like to love properly. Ain't no lying, ain't no deceiving, ain't no trying to get over on none of that. Ain't no, you know, it's not what I could do for him, but what he could do for me and how I could tell everybody that he does it. And that's really what it comes down to. I encourage you to spend time with God. I encourage you to take everything that you got and throw it at him, because waiting for somebody else to come and save you is a waste of time. Ain't nobody gonna do what God does. Ain't nobody gonna build you up and give you the strength and the confidence and the courage and the determination that you need to keep going. Listen, man, this ain't an easy walk. Battling your flesh every single day, and your flesh will have you murk yourself because you know you don't know what it is. Too smart for that. You too smart for that. You gotta get back to thugging it out the best way I know how. And his mercy, man, it's new every day. There's nothing that is too hard for God. There's nothing that God ain't seen. There's nothing that you ain't been through before. So when you think back on the marvelous deeds that he's done, think about all the times he saved you. Man, I can tell you plenty of relationships that I got in that he saved me from. I could tell you plenty of jobs that I didn't got into that he didn't save me from, where I should have been in jail. From jobs, right? You know, but this walk is different. And it's not about being a perfect one, but it's about a healthy relationship with him. In a healthy relationship, the doors of communication is always open. Listen, if my wrongs can help you correct something in your life, please don't go down that road. Don't do, you know what I'm saying? Don't do what I do. Do what he says. Come back to him. When you fall, when you backslide, come back and he gonna bless you. He always does when you come back, when you acknowledge that there's some error in your ways. Listen, people gonna do what they gonna do. They gonna say what they gonna say. Listen, God ain't done talking to me. Nothing you can say to me. Holla at God.